Alright guys, how's it going? Grumpy Panda here, ready to bring you another patch notes video for Dead by Daylight. We're here to talk about the patch notes from the PTB onto the live servers now. We're also going to go over the new Forsaken archive for the new upcoming tome that's just been released. So, first off, let's talk about the tome. It's called Forsaken. It is actually one of the better tomes I've seen. There's a video on it right here if you guys want to check it out. It basically we're not going to watch the video, but it talks about who's going to be included, what items are going to be revealed in the rift if you decide to unlock them and start doing the challenges. Bill's going to get a couple new outfits, which I'm really excited about, along with some of his charms. They're going to add, like, I think I saw a Boomer charm, a Left 4 Dead charm, like some really cool charms that are going to be included in the rift if you guys level them up or level up the rift. Also, right here, let's just read it off the top. Forsaken is now open with the archives, bringing new stories to discover in the world of the dead by Dead by Daylight. Forsaken contains brand new blue glyph challenges for the survivors, new stories, and new rewards. Explore the memories of William, Bill, Overbeck, the Plague, the Observer, and all while earning memorable outfits and cosmetics. The Observer, I think that has to do with the story of the entity and possibly the background. Pretty much the video, I watched it says pretty much the same thing. So the release dates on these are May 5th, May 19th, June 2nd, June 23rd. You got a sale here, but that is, I just wanted to go over that really fast to let you guys know that I'm really excited about the rift, the tome. I think they did a great job on it. So the last few tomes have been lackluster, and I've been lukewarm to them for the past couple of times. This one's actually looking pretty good. And if I remember, we'll go over the challenges or the rewards at the end. Let's get into the patch notes. Okay, this is the link right here. I will have it posted in the video and also in Discord if you guys want to check it out. That's what I'm going to use to actually look at the patch notes right here. So this patch notes is not only a buff, nerf, balance patch. It's also adding a rework to the game. Maybe some perk reworks, killer reworks, and map reworks. So it's a big patch. So as I always say, when there's a patch that's involved in any game, you better expect there's going to be bugs. Okay, they don't catch all the bugs, so try not to get too upset if you see a couple bugs right off the bat. It just happens, so there's going to be a quick patch afterwards, within a week to get all the bugs out. And hopefully, maybe there won't be any bugs, but just kind of, it's realistic to see when a big patch like this comes out that there are going to be bugs that are implemented as well. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so visually updated. They're going to do all the Cold Wind farm maps. I love the farm maps, so I'm glad they're getting a rework. Let's see, Rift now require less player XP. That's great. I didn't know they did that. That's awesome. They just legit, what that sounds like to me is it doesn't take as much to get the rift fragments. You can level up the rift much faster. Rift fragments required as level completion. Rewards now increase per level UI. So let's go over to the patch notes now. Here it is. I think you guys can see this pretty well. If I need to, I can make it bigger though. Let's see. Let's make it right there. That's good. I like it just like that. So this is the 4.7 mid-chapter patch. It's live. Came out May 5th. If I'm not mistaken, what is that? The 7th tome? Is that 7 or 8? I don't know. I'm not good with Roman numerals, so forgive me if I'm wrong on that. I think it's 7. That's 5 and that's 2, but I don't know. Either way, I know you guys will correct me in the comments down below. Okay, UI. They replace all checkboxes with text-based steppers, choices on and off. Visual, we already talked about that. The Doctor, madness levels now have a distinct visual for each level. I like that. It gives the killer more information. So if you're in level 2 versus level 3, that's, you can use that to decide, do you want to keep chasing them or go somewhere else. That's really good. As you guys know, that's, you know, if you're in level 3, you can't do anything. You got to get out of madness. Plague, improved sickness meter texture colors for colorblind players. Nightmare, increased brightness of the dream world indicator. Indicator? What is it? What's the indicator? Is that the thing that's over the... I don't know what that is. Ghostface, increased contrast. This is for just visuals. That's cool. Contrast and stalking meter. I wish they would make his mechanic a little bit better, you know, when you're crouching and turning around walls, but that's okay. He's still going to be bad. Okay, Doctor visual sound effect update. Optimize Doctor's visual sound effects to improve performance. Reduce the intensity of the glitch and madness screen effects. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. It's hard to sometimes decipher what this is, guys. What, you know, like what's... It's the way it reads sometimes. It's tough. I don't know what that means. The twins. Okay, so they've already kind of nerfed them from before. With this update, we try to widen the window for counterplay when attempting to down multiple survivors with Victor. Okay, sounds good. Also, the ultra rare add-ons were underperforming and have had their bonus increased. Yes, they were underperforming. But it's not just the add-ons I'm worried about. I want the power to be buffed. I want her to be good, you know what I mean? Or them. Charlotte can now rotate while waking up. Victor's successful pounce cooldown is 5 seconds, was 3 seconds. Okay, this is good. Can now rotate. Because before she was just in a, you know, idle position, couldn't look left or right. She just had to sit there. Victor's successful pounce cooldown is 5 seconds. So, wait, isn't that a nerf though? Once you, that means if you pounce on somebody successfully and down them, I thought that was gonna buff them right here. Okay, so that means I got, this is what I read before. So that's a nerf. It means you can get, you're gonna get kicked is what it means. So I might have misread this. This is actually helping the survivors in a way. They're gonna buff the add-ons, but they're gonna nerf some of this for Victor. Widen the window for counterplaying. They're counterplaying for, okay, they're for the counterplay for survivors. They're trying to give survivors a better opportunity to kick Victor. So Victor can now move during successful pounce cooldowns. Okay, so that's kind of offsetting that in a way. Silencing cloth grants undetectable for 20 seconds was 20 seconds. Iridescent pendant influx exposed for 30 seconds was 12 seconds. Okay, that's good. I still, you know, this is big because anytime you're in a group with Victor, you're going to get kicked. It doesn't matter unless you jump on somebody who's healthy. You're basically, unless you're like blind like Stevie Wonder or something, or just somehow lose track of Victor, you're just going to get kicked. 5 seconds is a very long time. So 3 seconds is not as long as 5, as everyone knows. Everyone knows 5 is more than 3. I didn't need to say that, but the fact is 5 seconds is a long time. Seriously. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for because Demogorgon has been bland. He's not been fun to play for me ever since he came out. So I'm hoping that, I didn't play the PTB, so I don't know what changes they attempted to make with him. I'm hoping that they do enough to where he is viable in the game, in the meta today. We'll just have to see. The Demogorgon's portals have been adjusted, and of course they could have made changes after this. You know, I didn't play the PTB, so they might have increased them or buffed them even more since then. The portals have been adjusted to be usable more frequently, traverse distance faster, and grant a bit more stealth. The base move speed when charging Shred has also been increased. The bonus from add-ons decreased. Okay. Again, I think it's important to say that I'd rather have really good power and abilities. I value power and abilities way more than add-ons, because add-ons are great. Yes, you can use them for your playstyle, but it's all about power and abilities, because you're always gonna, that's your base core and what you need in order to be a good killer, in my opinion. You know, add-ons are great for builds, but the core is definitely your abilities and power. The end result should be as strong or stronger. We will continue to monitor the performance of these add-ons and adjust them in the future patch as needed. Power. Traverse the upside down cooldown 10 seconds was 14 seconds, okay? That's not actually, that's a pretty big deal, because if you need to go back to base, or you got somebody down in the basement, that's really important to get back faster, especially across the map. Okay? No, but I'm really looking for him being stealthier out of getting out of a I'm looking for his shred attack to be better. I'm looking for his stealthiness to be better when he comes out of a portal as well. Normal, traverse, the upside down velocity too. They can make that faster. This is huge. That's huge. Undetectable lasts 3 seconds after traversing the upside down was 2 seconds. I think that'd be okay with 4 seconds, but this is pretty big. Even 1 second, you know, that's the difference between grabbing somebody or not grabbing somebody. Off the gen. Movement speed while charging, shred increased. Yes. Okay, that's big. Okay. They didn't really make his, unless they make the hitbox different or something, his shred attack can't really be changed unless they do something with his movement speed while charging up, and or make the charge or make the velocity of his shred attack faster. That's about the only two things I can see them doing with him to make his shred attack better. But they did do something. That's important. So this is good. Add-ons. Blackheart reduces cooldown time after a successful shred attack by 20%. Does that mean pallets as well? I think so. That's really good, because as you guys know, Demogorgon's really good about breaking pallets. That's one thing shred attack can do. That's a good add-on. Rat liver, if you can do that. Plus 3.5 movement speed while charging shred was 9%, but end result is unchanged due to the increased base move speed. Okay, since they buffed them. Rat tail plus 25% action speed when opening a portal was 50%. Wait, what? So they might have nerfed a couple of these. I don't know. Yeah, they nerfed that one. When traversing the upside down, the portal you enter is destroyed. Blood points earned. Okay, so that's like no one's going to use that, because what's happening? Well, the only thing you can get out of this besides points is if you accidentally put down a couple bad portals and you want them to be destroyed. Because if a good team survivors know that you put a couple bad portals down, they're not going to cleanse them. They're going to let you have them and not cleanse them at all, and that way you used up all your portals. So what will happen is you can use this to like destroy one of them and replace the portal somewhere else. So that can be used like that. But most of the time, you know, that's not going to happen, because I think you get like 6 portals. That's a lot. Especially later in the game, when gens get closer together, you won't have to worry about that as much. Barb's glasses slightly increases shred recovery when breaking a pallet. That's good. If you can combine these two right here, that'd be really good if they stack. I'm all about like doing a pallet build with him. You know, maybe I wouldn't do brutal strength, but I would do enduring. I would do enduring with those two add-ons. Sticky lining increases the radius in which survivors can be detected of the abyss by 2.5 meters was 1.5. Okay, that's good. That's pretty solid. That gives you the killer instincts. Brass K slider inflicts 60%, 60 seconds of blindness was 45. The deer lung increases the upside down traversal speed by 40%. Now reduces portal count by 2. So there's a negative to that. I don't know if that's worth it. It might be. I don't know. Well, that's something to test out. That's going to be a green add-on, probably, possibly purple. 11 soda shows yellow auras for generators being repaired while traversing upside down. Thorny vines, that's good. You know, you don't have to use surveillance instead, you know, or whatever, or discordance. Thorny vines, seal time plus 10% versus 14%. Detection radius was 1 meter versus 1.5. So this makes the seal time, it was 14. Wait, so they nerfed it. They nerfed it both ways. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Lifeguard whistle. Survivors near activated portals are indicated by killer instinct without having to charge of the abyss. Oh, that's really good, actually. Wow, that's solid. That's probably is that pink? You guys think that's a pink one? That might be. That's pretty solid right there because that's giving you information without having to what's it called, shriek or whatever it's called. That's really good. Unknown egg reduces power recovery time after traversing the upside down by 1.5 seconds. It was 2.5. Wait, reduces power recovery time after traversing. Is that a buff? Gotta reread these. Power recovery time after traversing the upside down. Reduces it. So I guess that's a nerf, isn't it? I guess it is, yeah. It used to be faster. Sometimes I have to like reread these, man. Like it's like because there's keywords in here. It's like, you know, two negatives. Okay, so I don't want to say that. Lichen. I don't know. Survivor auras remain for 3 seconds after emerging from portal. Okay. That's okay. Red moss. This is what I used to use. When traversing the upside down, the Demogorgon emerges from the target portal silently but more slowly, so they nerfed it. It didn't do that before, did it? Oh, what it was is it gave you a stealth. It made you stealthy for like 5 seconds, but now it's completely silent, but you're slow. Okay, I get that. So it is a buff. All right, guys. I knew they were going to do it. I knew they were going to do something tonight, to Freddy, because the nerfs before, they were good nerfs. Like, they were effective, but I still felt... I just had a feeling they were going to do something with them because people were still getting a lot of 4Ks, and like his gameplay style didn't change a whole lot even after the nerfs. And before, I want to say they made it to where they gave him the Executioner's nerf, where if he throws down a trap on the ground or even a Dream Pallet, his game base speed slows down for like 3 seconds, and that's a big one, and some other things. But that was the big one that I remember before. Nightmare has been overperforming for some time. His game slowdown add-ons were still causing more frustration than we would like. These have been removed and replaced with new effects based on Survivor sounds in the dream world. So, his add-ons are just being completely replaced. Interesting. So they're not nerfing him, probably. They're probably nerfing his add-ons. I'm hoping. I don't know. We've also made adjustments to penalize spamming snares and chase and reduce it. What? Like, think about that for a second. That's his power, though. Like, I don't know. I don't agree with that one. That's his power. You're telling me you can't spam his power? Like, that's his power. That's what he can do, man. What's going to happen is the LT wall is going to be really hard to it's going to be a very big obstacle for Freddy now. The LT wall, tractors, maybe, and some other things come to mind. The reduced total number of traps that can be active at once, but they expect the core gameplay experience to remain intact. If you can only have a certain amount of traps active at once, that completely changes the game. That's not going to remain intact. That's like, that kills them actually in a lot of ways. What's going to happen is you won't be able to put down traps ahead of time. You're going to have to put them as you're chasing them. That's what's going to happen, because you can only have so many active. You're going to put them like 1 or 2 down, like where you think there'll be popular areas, but after that you'll have to just put them down as you go, and that's going to be killer. Power. Moving speed now adjusted to 4 milliseconds while charging a dream snare. I don't know what it was before. I don't know. Like, they might have, now that they're nerfing him again or adjusting him again, they may buff a couple things, possibly. Dream snare charge is reduced to 5. Was 8. You can only have 5 dream snare. That's crazy. Dream pallets, it don't matter because no one's going to use it anyways, but it is going to 7. It was 10. Using a clock to wake up prevents falling asleep for 30 seconds. This includes when getting hit by Freddy. I don't think this is the worst thing ever. I'm actually okay with this because I want to give survivors the ability to try to counteract going to sleep. I'm okay with that. I really am, because by the time you wake up, either by being woke up from somebody or being hooked or whatever the case may be, popping the generator, which never happens. It's a good thing to try to stay awake, because if you stay awake, that means that's less chance that he doesn't recover as fast. His power doesn't recover as fast in order to teleport to a generator, you know? So that's why you want to stay awake. And if he has add-ons that will slow down your action speed as well if you're asleep. So that's the reason. If you're probably wondering, well, what does it matter if I stay awake or fall asleep? That's the reason. Those are the two big ones. Added a new killer power visual behind the survivor portraits to indicate 30-second sleep immunity timer. Okay, that's good. So it gives them the ability, as a killer, to see who's going to be immune to the 30, who's got that timer, so you know if you hit them, they're not going to fall asleep. But that's pretty big, though. They won't. Remember, they cannot. Not only did they reduce his snares to 5, if they have this ability for immunity, if you're not asleep, you're not going to be affected by any snares or pallets either. So think about that. This right here is going to be it. He's probably not going to survive this anymore. I think he will be he's not going to be top tier anymore. I really do believe that. He's still going to be good because he's got the ability to still teleport. The main thing that makes Freddy good is he's got the ability to teleport with pop, and kick a generator really fast with barbecue, and or discordance, and or surveillance, or tinker. Those perks allow him to see where the people are at and kick a generator before they pop it. And as you guys know, survivors don't really like to hide in lockers, and even if they know Freddy has barbecue, they're still not going to do it. They're going to go and try to do the gens as fast as possible. So that's what makes Freddy so effective. Black box. When a gate is open, the entity blocks it for sleeping survivors for 15 seconds. Okay, that needs to be like 30 seconds, but okay. 15 seconds isn't nothing. Think about this, guys. Now think about this. When a gate's opened, the entity blocks it for a sleeping survivor. You're using an add-on to block the gate for 15 seconds. That's like no time at all. Like you're spent like for a chance, just for a chance to block the gate for 15 seconds. That's crazy. Why would you ever use a black box? That's a terrible add-on. It needs to be like 45 seconds, but I said 30 because you're trying to play the entire game with this add-on, which doesn't do you any good until the very end, just to get a chance to maybe block the gate for a sleeping survivor for 15 seconds. It's not a good add-on. Jump rope. While survivors are in the dream world, the sounds of the grunts of pain are 50% louder. That's good. That's pretty good. I would use this because you can use jump rope the entire game. Black box is just for one opportunity, one chance for an opportunity to get somebody, you know, sleeping, for a better word. Outdoor rope. While survivors are in the dream world, the sounds of the generator's repair can be heard for 8 meters further away. What they're doing is they're giving add-ons for certain killers that will allow them to not have to use other perks like surveillance. Like what's another one? Wraith has a couple that do something like that for like brutal strength and stuff like that. That's what they're doing. All it is surveillance for an add-on, which I like. I wish they would get a little bit more creative, but I understand why they're doing it. Swing chains. While survivors are in the dream world, the sounds of their footsteps are 50% louder. The Huntress. Okay, that's it for him. Huntress add-on update. Last time all they did was change her iridescent add-on. That was it, but they might have done something else now. The last of the older killers with incorrect add-on rarities in this has now been fixed. Several add-ons have been altered to give more interesting effects, and our most controversial add-on has been adjusted, so it's no longer allowing to be able to carry more than one hatchet. That's the first, yeah, that's one thing they should have done a long time ago. Plus 10% hatchet flight speed. Beerus toxin becomes yellowed cloth. So it's not the charge time, it's the flight speed. I like that. That's different. Core Stone, the grunts of pain from hit targets are increased by 50% until they are fully healed. Okay, same thing with Freddy there too. Well, it's got to be from hit targets, not from M1 attacks. Amanita Toxin, hit targets, suffers from the blindness status effect for 60 seconds, was 30. Deer skin gloves are rare. Fine Stone becomes weighted head. Hit target suffers from incapacitated status effect for 10 seconds. Seed Brew is now Wooden Fox. Now very rare. Grants the undetectable status effect for 10 seconds after reloading. Okay, that's interesting. UC Concoction is now Rose Root, so they changed some names here. 20%, so this is probably purple or at the very least green. Pugnet File is now Soldier's Putty. Now ultra rare. The Huntress moves 4.6 when she has no hatchets. That's interesting. I like that. I really like that, actually. What do you guys think about that one? That's going to be pretty solid. I would use that. Venomous Concoction inflicts exhaustion status effect for 5 seconds. Was 97. Ooh, that's a big difference. that's a big difference there, isn't it? Iridescent heads prevent carrying more than one hatchet. More live design. Apart from killer updates, the most significant live design change in this update is to change the survivor's hook struggle inputs, allowing you to do what the executioner does on his what's it called? His torment, his cage of torment. So you're going to hit skill checks versus pressing a button repeatedly, which I love. Because as you guys know, I used to be back with my old keyboard. It used to legit like be just, I would press the button and it just, I guess, wouldn't register, and it would just kill me off. And I'd get so upset because it's something that, you know, I couldn't really control because I had, I guess, faulty equipment at the time. But this is a better mechanic, and I'm happy they're making changes for it. One of the most motivating factors behind this update is to reduce the number of inputs per second in order to make the game more accessible to those suffering from RSI. What does that mean? RSI. Repeated. I don't know. After the release of this mechanic, I think it's for like carpal tunnel and stuff like that, I guess. Repeat, you know, stuff like that. Number of inputs per second because your hands get tired. I think that's what it means. After the release of this mechanic for the executioner cages, that's the word I was looking for, is a positive reception by the community. We felt confident in making this change broadly. I agree. The new object of obsession. Design previewed on the dev stream has been completed with a few tweaks. We hope solo survivors will enjoy small games new totem. Yeah, okay. Yeah, survivors will enjoy it. Killers will not. Okay, new totem counting function, and borrowed time no longer triggers based on terror radius. It just... I love how they put that at the end. It just works. Yeah, it works for somebody. Mainly one side of the group. The other group's going to be pissed off. It just works. That was nice. That was a nice little touch, guys. It works. I think I'm going to put... That's my new slogan. It just works. Oh, man. Yeah, it works all right. All right, new hook struggle. Yeah, we get it. Reducing the amount of time the entity. Yeah, we get it. It's kind of simple. Okay, big time. Big money here. Perks. Small game. Gain tokens for each totem any survivor cleanses. Tokens reduce cone width to increase accuracy. No longer triggers for the totem you are currently cleansing. Woo! That's actually a nice, quality of life. Because you'll sit there in front of the totem you're doing and have to wait, you know, you keep hearing it go off like every 3 seconds or whatever. It is kind of annoying. But it only works whenever you start cleansing it. So I'm okay with that. But I mean, this is a game changer, guys. I'm gonna start using it. I think I will. I'm gonna test it for sure. Okay, big perk here. Lucky break now hides scratch marks as well. Duration reduced to 35, 40, and 45 seconds. Okay, so they at least nerfed it, because it used to be like 90 seconds. It was like 60, 75, and 90 if I'm not mistaken. Soul Guard now has a 30-second cooldown between activations. Open Hand increases aura reading 8 by 8, 12, 16 meters. Survivors may only be affected by the instance of one Open Hand. Wait. Okay. Zanshin Tactics are always active, and the range are increased by 24, 28, and 32 meters. Borrowed time no longer requires being in the terror radius to trigger. Duration of enduring SAS effect reduced to 8, 10, and 12 seconds. Object of Obsession. This perk has been redesigned when you... I gotta read this again. Whenever your aura is revealed to the killer's auras become visible to you, and you gain a 2, 4, 6% bonus to healing, repairing, and cleansing speed. If you are the... Wait. So that is whether you're the obsession or not. You're going to be able to do that no matter what. So if multiple people are running that perk, anytime it's revealed to the killer, you're going to get that increase. However, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, it's like not when you're looking at them. It's like going to show it to, like, you're going to know when you're being revealed, because I think there's probably going to be some kind of status effect in the bottom left hand corner letting you know that you're getting a buff increase, possibly. Or you'll see a gold. Whenever you're doing something, you'll see gold versus red on the meter, and it lets you know that you're being revealed. So it's going to be there might be a signal or like something letting you know besides that, but that's an easy way to tell when you're being revealed to the killer. If you are the obsession, your aura will be revealed to the wait. Okay, so this is what I thought this was going to happen no matter what, but this only happens to the obsession. Obviously, this perk will increase your chances of being the obsession as well. Do you have to be the obsession to get this bonus though, or is it just for everyone who has this perk? It doesn't say. It doesn't say. So that's the question I want answered. I'm sure you guys will let me know down in the comments below, because that's going to be really unfair if a lot of people can, everyone can run this and everyone gets that bonus. Obviously, you know what? Actually, I just answered my own question. If you are the obsession, your aura is revealed to the killer for 3 seconds, once every 30 seconds. That's when you get the bonus. So you have to be the obsession. I'm imagining you have to be the obsession in order to get the bonus. And you only get the bonus when you're being revealed for 3 seconds on every 30 seconds. So that's how it works. Okay, that makes sense. So Survive with Friends will dominate with this perk because they won't run multiple of the same perks. But if you're solo, then if everyone's solo and everyone's running this perk, 3 people are wasting the perk because there's only one obsession at a time. Does that make sense? That's why I say it's better for Survive with Friends, and you can synergize your builds together, because everyone knows that, hey, Jimmy's got the object of obsession, don't run it. You know what I mean? He's going to be the obsession for this game. Or, you know, you get what I'm saying. Like, they can just synergize better. Okay, other. Repairing while using a toolbox now increases the odds of getting skill checks by 5 times voice. What? That's actually really good for survivors, because that means you can hit perfect skill checks faster. You know what I'm saying? That's bad. That's not a good thing. Don't think that's a good thing for killers, because it's not. When the hatch is opened by a key, it remains open for 10 seconds. What's 30? This should be like 5 seconds, but okay. That's a start. Did they nerf the key spawns on blood webs? That's what I want to know. You know, that's what they should be doing. Every trial will now start with an obsession regardless of player loadouts. Interesting. Interesting. I like it. I don't know why I like it, but I like it. I kind of like that. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like it. Obviously, on one hand, I like it because actually, I don't know why I like it. I don't like it because obviously I know why they did it. Because they don't want people to be tunneled. They're trying to do everything they can to not get people tunneled. But the thing is, nah, I kind of don't like it. Like, I don't like telling people, but if I have to get a kill because, you know, they're down to one generator and I got to get this guy killed and he just happened to be on the hook prior to that 30 seconds ago, you know, it is what it, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I got to get a kill. So if they don't have a, but that changes everything now because you don't know if they have decisive or not. So I'm guessing they did this because of the decisive change, because it got nerfed and now no one's really running it. People run it, but people don't run it as much. And that's why you see less people with the obsession perks, because that's why they also changed objective obsession, because this makes you the obsession. Well, since no one's running decisive and maybe nobody's going to run this, there's less people in the, there's a lot more games out there without obsessions. So that's why they did this. So that gives the killer a big leg up to let them know that, hey, I can tunnel this guy and have no repercussions negatively. So that's why they're doing this, because people were getting tunneled at the end of games or even at the beginning, and they had nothing to go on, because now this is going to protect the people that aren't running the decisives and stuff. So it's a knock against killers. I mean, what's, you know, am I surprised? No, not really. Archives. A new tome and rift. Yes, we know. We already talked about it. Changes from the PTB to live. So what did they change? I didn't play the PTB. So what did they change? The Nightmares Black Box add-on activation increased from 10 seconds to 15. That's a terrible perk. How can they, or add-on, how can they justify this add-on even being used? They know it's bad because they have already changed it once. They changed it from 10 seconds, which is a joke, to 15 seconds, which is still a joke. And if you guys don't know what Black Box does, what it is an add-on, I talked about it, that lets you, when a gate's open, the entity blocks it for a sleeping survivor for 15 seconds. You run an add-on for the entire game just for a chance to block a gate for a sleeping survivor. It could be survivors, but for 15 seconds. That's it, for a chance. That's crazy. 15 seconds is so minute. It's crazy. It needs to be at least 30 seconds. And then we might, because you're running the entire game with one add-on at that point. You think about it, this, you know, it's not like Noed. It's not like you're gonna be able to down them immediately. All right, so what else did they change? They changed the duration of Lucky Break, which I knew because I remember it being like 90 seconds. It's now 45. Victor can now move during the pounce success cooldown. So he can move. He can move. What? I didn't read that. So that's why they changed this up here. So as soon as he hits him, he can move while recovering. Wait, he can move before that, couldn't he? He can move a little bit, but not very much. So that's why they increased it from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I didn't read that before. If I did, I kind of skipped over it. How fast can you move though? Because if you're around like 3 people, you're still getting kicked. Because 5 seconds, I'm sure you're still gonna move not so fast. Demogorgon's base speed while charging shred has increased. So they didn't have this in the PTB. So that tells me right then and there that people were playing Demogorgon obviously because he got changes made in the PTB, and people were losing. So they needed to do something. This is what they should have done from the get-go, and I'm glad they did it. So that's a good change. That's probably one of the better changes he's got. Also adjusted his shredded charge move. Wait, I don't adjust it. So did they nerf this? Add-on bonus adjusted to 3.5 for a resulting shred charge move speed of 4. I don't know what that means. Did they buff that though? I mean, they changed it, but I don't know. Leather loop, they changed the rarity, adjusted the cowshed and farmhouse map balance, adjusted. Okay, so I heard that I heard from my community that the farm maps were all completely one-sided towards survivors, and that they were completely imbalanced, and they were terrible for killers. I hope they changed it to where it's actually more balanced. We'll see. Adjusted multiple collisions in the farm maps, adjusted the vault on the harvester to be easier to use, and different bug fixes. Audio wise, last thing we're going over. Survivor now screams audibly across the map when unhooking another survivor if a killer perk make your choice is active. So that lets everyone know that they have make your choice on. So that's not really, that's more of a survivor buff to give them information that, hey, if you unhook the survivor, be prepared that he's got make your choice. Because there's no reason for you to be screaming unless you're playing against a clown doctor or maybe what, trapper or something, if you're getting, unless you're getting hooked. But if you're screaming, you know, against like the plague or something or whatever, that lets you know that make your choice is on. Game audio is no longer caused to muffle a game's end while the Trickster is in the main event state. They didn't do anything with Trickster. I guess they're okay with them, but didn't they buffed them a little bit in the last little patch, but it's still not enough from what I haven't played him really, so I mean, I just going off everybody else's complaints on him. He just looks not very fun to play, but that's another time for, you know, I'm not going to talk about him. He's not in this patch. Demogorgon's portal is no longer audible by survivors until activated. What does that mean? No longer audible. I guess they can't hear it. I don't know what that means. Can you hear a portal? Oh, maybe they can like hear it when it's activated, meaning when it's yellow. I wish they didn't. I don't understand why they still do that, but the hillbilly chainsaw will now rev continuously while in charge state. Okay, and we got a bunch of bug fixes. So that was the patch notes, guys. All right, there you have it, guys. That was a 4.7 mid-chapter patch. We talked about pretty much everything that's coming to Dead by Daylight is actually already in the game. It's live now, so I would suggest you guys go out, play some games, experiment, test it out. Tell me what you guys think about the patch, what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like, and tell me what you'd like to see in the future. Changes, buffs, nerfs, you know. Tell me all your thoughts on the game and the current meta. Are we in a good place right now? Where do we want to be in the where would you guys like to see in the future? Personally, I think it's in a better place now. Well, they've taken like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, or 1 step back. It's almost like they're trying to go in the right direction, but then it's tough. I know it's a hard job for the devs to balance the game, but when they do stuff like, I was worried about Lucky Break, because Lucky Break was going to be a meta perk. It still is, but it's not as bad since it only lasts for what, I think 45 seconds. So that's a good thing. And I'm okay with like nerfs to the Huntress and a couple changes to Freddy, and like they're trying to do the right thing. So like they're going in the right direction, but there's still a couple things I feel like they should be trying to fix. And like small game, this is my big complaint for this one. It's not even Lucky Break and small game are going to be huge. And borrow time, that's the other one. Those are the 3. And I'm not against survivors getting good perks, but the game's already changed to the point where Totem, Ruin, and other Hex Totems, they've already nerfed Undying. Okay, so it's not nearly as bad. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be for survivors. But now, if you do run Undying or Ruin or anything else that has a Hex, you've got small game to counter it big time. Like it counters it to the point where you know exactly where it's at. It gives you tokens to be more accurate, and it's in borrowed time. Like it messes over stealth killers, because that was the whole point of stealth. that was one benefit, was to be able to counter borrow time. So it goes back to Survive with Friends. They kind of win in the end. So that's my complaint. Other than that, I love the patch, and I'm happy with where they're going. Other than a couple perks here and there. Okay, that's my thoughts on it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did like the video, hit the like, subscribe button. Also hit the bell icon in the top right corner so you don't miss out on content in the future. Okay, I do appreciate you guys for the support. I'll be playing some games now, so I'll see you guys out in the fog. I'm Grumpy Panda, signing off. Take care, guys, and we'll see you later. All right. Pretty good.